What's the most random skill you have that never fails to impress people? I put up one ceiling fan and suddenly I'm the family electrician. In the 90s and early 2000s, I used to be able to tell the make and model of any car or truck at night just off the headlights. Nowadays, I have no idea. I'm barely okay at drawing. People think you are a magician if you can draw anything beyond basic stick figures. Cartoon voice imitation, 54 of them. Story time with my kids is pretty great. I can make an owl call with my hands. My dad taught it to me as a hunting trick to get turkeys to gobble, but it's gotten way more use as a party trick in my adult life. I spray gas from a lighter into my closed fist and then light it. When I open my hand, a fireball appears. It's a great little trick that people love. I remember people's names after they introduce themselves, even better if I haven't seen them in a while. I can sleep anytime in daytime. I can write backwards perfectly with my left hand. I remember the middle names and birthdays of all my family members, parents, sister, 15 plus cousins, aunts, uncles, grandparents, etc. Standing up from being cross-legged without using my hands, sitting down again the same way. For context, I'm 60. Moonwalking. Untying knots. I'm never encountered like professional sailor knots, but when things like cords or strings get tangled badly, my family always hands them to me and I'll have them untangled in a few seconds. It's not a crazy skill, but it's something few people appreciate until they need it. I can easily imitate the sounds of a dentist's drill, but that doesn't impress people, they just hate me for it. Solving a Rubik's Cube in under a minute. I can purchase the perfect gift for anyone I know, without planning in advance on what gift I'm getting them. I can drink strong black coffee all day long and still be able to sleep. When you work in IT and have a knack for fixing things that you have no experience with. My sense of smell. I walked into my mom's house at Thanksgiving and knew immediately she had a bad potato somewhere. She was confused until she went into her pantry and pulled out a bag of potatoes, and lo and behold. I can recite the laws of thermodynamics, and I have a friend who likes to go telling people we just met that I am a genius, and then tells them to ask me any random thing, like for example the laws of thermodynamics. I wouldn't be able to answer if they changed the question, but hey, never do. We've done this many times. I can sometimes tell geographically where people live if they post pictures of certain mushrooms. Ability to watch an episode of Cops and without looking at any writing on the cars or the opening line of where they are. I know what state it is in the city most of the times, either landscape, type of vehicles used, etc. My good friend from college would sit there, test me, and I got 4 episodes right in a row, all locations except a few cities, but wasn't far off. He couldn't believe it, from NJ to Oregon to Texas. Choose a lane of traffic and magically turn it into the slowest moving lane. I can touch my nose and chin with my tongue. It's not really a skill, as much as it is a glitch in my body. Also, it doesn't really impress people, they just stare and off for a second and then get weirded out. I can sound like I'm talking backwards. One time when I was a teenager, I walked into a room talking, which was something my parents always told us not to do. They exclaimed David, and I knew immediately what I'd done, so I reversed, walking backwards out of the room, and did an imitation of backwards talking, something I'd heard messing around with a turntable. I got a big laugh, and so since then, and it's been many years, I've been doing it at select times. Evidently lifting things. I work out a lot and people are always surprised by me of being able to lift as much as I do, since I never have to ask for help when moving stuff. Making good playlists. Whistle extremely loud without using fingers/attributes. I used to be a high school science teacher and was an avid FPS millennial gamer growing up. My reflexes used to be insane, so if our class had downtime on a Friday, I'd challenge the best gamers in the class to a reaction speed test using human benchmark, best of 5, I never lost once. Singing Louis Armstrong's Wonderful World, imitating the legendary gentleman himself. And I'm a skinny white girl, lol, hurts my throat though. Spinning basketball on my finger. I can touch my elbows together behind my back, people are disturbed but impressed. Baton twirling. I was a majorette many years ago, and can now transfer these skills to mops, brush handles, walking sticks, etc. I just get the urge randomly. People are either impressed or terrified, pretty evenly. I'm too old now, but I used to be able to rip a phone book in half with my hands, not down the spine, across the pages. Tell me any date past or future and I can tell you what day of the week it is. It's rather useless because I usually can't figure it out faster than looking it up, but you did ask for impressive rather than useful. I can perfectly mimic the low battery smoke detector beep. It's a hit at parties and a nightmare for anyone trying to find the actual device. Mine's a combo. I'm the best combined spelling ace/parallel parking was I've ever known. Now, there are probably people who spell somewhat more accurately than me, I make the occasional error, and people who are even better at parallel parking, but I'm outstanding in both categories, and I can do both at the same time. Humble achievements, sure, but it's where I feel I shine. I have a few party tricks that I picked up over the years working with people in the justice system. For instance, I can make a passable blade out of a cigarette butt. I'm very good at identifying third/fourth generation video game box arts either blurry or from a distance, perhaps from a TV show, the smallest postage stamp blur, and I'm like, that's Biohazard Battle for Sega Genesis. Knowing who a voice actor is after just a couple sentences. Knowing facts about things people think I don't have any knowledge of. Basically, I know a little about a lot. Just being lucky, I guess. I've made a few random and extremely risky business decisions over the course of the last decade that has allowed me to retire at 32. Some people are very impressed, most people are jealous or ask me for money.